Welcome to Badasses. I'm your host, Kai Armstrong. Today on Badasses, imagine orchestrating your own departure, a final experiment with life itself, just like Aldous Huxley. But what if this meticulously planned exit wasn't about escaping life, but unlocking its ultimate secret, a truth that could reshape your understanding of reality and your own path to liberation? November 22, 1963, a sterile hospital room in Los Angeles. The mechanical hum of medical equipment provides a cold counterpoint to Aldous Huxley's labored breathing. His frail hand reaches not for comfort, but for a glass of water with something dissolved within. Beside him lies the manuscript of Island, his final testament. This isn't a man surrendering to death. This is a man conducting his last experiment. You might wonder why someone who warned humanity about the dangers of chemical happiness would choose such an exit. But perhaps you're asking the wrong question. What if this wasn't an escape, but an exploration? What did he see in those final moments that we're all still trying to understand? Young Aldous grew up in a world of intellectual privilege, surrounded by books and brilliant minds. But at 14, his mother's death from cancer shattered this ordered universe. 2 years later, a devastating eye disease nearly blinded him, forcing him to abandon his dreams of becoming a doctor. Then came his brother's suicide in 1914. Most would have crumbled under such relentless loss. Instead, these tragedies became the lens through which he would examine humanity's deepest questions. Picture yourself in his position, surrounded by academic excellence, yet unable to read without excruciating effort. Every page required painful concentration, every word a battle. But this struggle gave him something invaluable, the perspective of an outsider. While others skimmed the surface of life, his partial blindness forced him to observe more deeply, to question what others took for granted. Success came early with his satirical novels, but something gnawed at him. Walking through London's factories in the 1920s, he witnessed humanity being reduced to mechanical parts in a vast industrial machine. The hollow laughter of workers echoing against steel walls haunted him. He saw how technology, promising to free us, was instead reshaping us in its image. By 1931, while others celebrated progress, Huxley perceived a darker truth. In his dimly lit study, he poured his fears into Brave New World, envisioning a future where happiness was manufactured and individuality sacrificed for stability. The novel wasn't just fiction, it was prophecy. But Huxley wasn't content merely to diagnose society's ills. The success of Brave New World left him restless. If technology could enslave us, could it also free us? If society was sick, where could we find healing? These questions led him away from England's literary circles to California's spiritual frontiers. If you're enjoying Badasses, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Mental Fortitude Challenge. Explode your confidence by channeling strategies from Roosevelt, Bruce Lee, and more. Now back to the episode. In California, Huxley's quest led him to experiment with mescaline, documenting his journeys in the doors of perception. This wasn't recreational escape, it was methodical exploration. He approached these experiences like the scientist he'd once hoped to become, meticulously recording how consciousness could be expanded, how perception could be transformed. While others saw drugs as an escape from reality, he saw them as tools to understand reality more deeply. By 1962, with Island, Huxley attempted something radical, imagining a society that balanced technology with human consciousness. The novel depicted Pala, a place where Eastern wisdom met Western science, where progress served human growth rather than control. But even as he wrote of this paradise, he knew forces of greed and power would threaten it, just as they threatened all attempts at human enlightenment. Which brings us back to that hospital room in 1963. Huxley, dying of cancer, made a remarkable request: 100 micrograms of LSD dissolved in water. His wife Laura later wrote that he departed this world without pain or fear, exploring consciousness until his final breath. On the same day, John F. Kennedy was assassinated. While the world's attention was elsewhere, Huxley completed his last experiment. You might think this story ends here, but Huxley's warnings echo louder today than ever. We carry devices that monitor our every move, algorithms that shape our thoughts, and corporations that manufacture our desires. Sound familiar? It should. You're living in a world he foresaw with uncomfortable accuracy. But here's what matters most. Huxley didn't just predict our present, he showed us how to resist it. His life teaches us that true liberation comes not from accepting the comfortable lies of our age, but from the courage to question everything, even our own consciousness. The real question isn't whether Huxley was right about our brave new world. The question is, what will you do about it? Look around you. Notice the subtle ways your attention is directed, your desires shaped, your consciousness confined. Then ask yourself, are you ready to conduct your own experiments with reality, not with drugs, but with the kind of radical questioning that defined Huxley's life? Are you prepared to step outside society's comfortable illusions and seek deeper truths? Because that's the real lesson of Aldous Huxley's life. In a world increasingly designed to control us through pleasure and distraction, the most revolutionary act is to reclaim your own consciousness. To question not just what you think, but how you think. To seek truth not in escape, but in deeper engagement with reality. The choice, as always, is yours. Will you accept the manufactured happiness offered by our brave new world? Or will you, like Huxley, dare to look beyond the veil, even when what you find disturbs you? Remember, the most dangerous prison is the one you can't see, and the first step to freedom is realizing you're confined. On the next episode of Badasses, Aldous Huxley urged us to consider the future, a future where technology and society were shaping our very humanity. But what happens when the relentless pursuit of success overshadows our well-being? What if the very structures we build to elevate ourselves lead to our downfall? This week, we're navigating life's challenges, and the next story unveils a heroine who dared to redefine success on her own terms. Prepare to discover the untold story of a woman who stared into the face of failure, embraced resilience, and emerged as a beacon of inspiration, proving that true triumph lies not just in achievement, but in the journey itself. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, the 7-Day Mental Fortitude Challenge. What if 7 days could make you bulletproof? Steal confidence strategies from warriors, rebels, and icons who turned panic into power. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/BA. Thanks for watching.